We are on a break. It's been 3 weeks since my last Dupixent shot, and let's just say me and my medication are definitely in the Ross and Rachel era. Today I'm going to talk to you about why I'm considering withdrawing from Dupixent, how my skin's doing, the reason why, and sadly, I think I have figured out my eczema trigger. But spoiler alert, I'm really bummed about it. However, it might actually help you with your skin drama. Are you one of the few? This is the channel for you. My name is Victoria and I've had eczema my entire life. I'm a 3-time survivor of topical steroid withdrawal, and now I'm just a girl on the internet with eczema trying to help a few of you. So today we're going to talk about why me and my medication are on a break. If you don't know what Dupixent is, I have a whole playlist dedicated to it. You can go watch those and then come back here and find out why I am withdrawing. So Dupixent is a medication that typically you would take every 2 weeks for like till the end of time. Dupixent is not a cure for eczema, but it is one of the best medications out there on the market, I would say, to help manage your symptoms. However, I never felt 100% comfortable with the idea of taking it indefinitely. Now that my skin is looking a little bit better, I'm more open to trying to look at different ways to manage my symptoms in the meantime. So am I saying that I'm never gonna go back to Dupixent? I'm not saying that at all. I actually don't know. But I just thought 3 weeks in, I'm actually okay. Maybe should I stretch it? I don't know. Comment down below. What do you think? Have you been on Dupixent? Have you ever stretched out your shots? What is your thought process behind it? But I just kind of thought it's not something, I think medicine is a tool, but I don't think it should be something that you depend on unless you really, really have to. Okay, so how is my skin doing? Well, you know what? My skin is doing pretty great, all things considered. A lot of times when people take their Dupixent, it's every 2 weeks, and as the second week point, as the 2 week point comes around, a lot of people will notice that their skin begins to revert. However, my skin hasn't done that, and I'm at the 3 week point. I do notice I get dry patches, but you know, those are all, I think that's pretty typical as someone who already has eczema, so I just moisturize and carry on. I have a shower routine, if you want to watch that works really well for hydrating my dry, sensitive skin. My skin has never been better. It's doing great, but the issue, and it's kind of embarrassing to say, that bothers me the most is the situation with my eyes. Dupixent has been causing me chronic, it feels like, eye flares. Come, you guys want to see them? Look at this. I mean, they've looked worse, but they could also look better. I feel silly to say, because in my last update, I was like, it's not a big deal. But you know what? The raw and redness under my eyes, it actually is a big deal. And in my previous videos, I kind of was like comfortable and it was new, but I'm like, is this something I'm gonna have to keep dealing with like forever? I don't know. The one thing that does help my eye flares is my eye flare fast protocol, and you can watch that video above. But the only problem with this protocol is that it involves fasting. And because this has become chronic and it's not like my regular eczema where I would have a flare and then I do the protocol and then it would go away for like a month or two, this keeps coming back because Dupixent does something to your skin, especially the skin around your eyes, that makes you more susceptible to this. And the main reason why the Flare Fast protocol works is because of the fasting component. And that brings me to my next point. And this is how I'm figuring out what my triggers actually are, is fasting. So I have been fasting over the last 2 weeks quite a bit, but right now I'm in the midst of, I've gone 4 days without food, just a kind of a water only, coffee only fast. And I'm actually realizing that the culprit to my eczema, sadly, is whatever I've been eating. It's food. And I mean, for some of you, you might be thinking like, well, newsflash, of course it's food, but as someone who's tried a variety of diets, I've never been able to figure out what food exactly it is, because it could be a myriad of things. But I did find it is one trigger in particular. And it kind of, literally the other day, I'm sitting drinking my morning coffee and it kind of, all the stars aligned, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's dairy. So yes, people dairy is well known as a trigger, a common trigger for those with eczema, but I didn't think it would be for me because first of all, I drink 100% organic dairy on a regular basis, so I figured that that would be okay, and I only have small amounts of it. So yesterday morning, I go and have my little story time about my dairy situation. I have my coffee. Even though I'm fasting, I will have 1 cup of coffee with a 1/4 cup of my organic milk in it. Like, that's non-negotiable. So I have my coffee and I notice my pinky and around here are getting itchy. Like, just little spots around my hands, just getting a little bit itchy. I'm like, that's interesting. So I'm like, okay. Later on in the day, I had a cup of tea and I just decided to put a splash of cream in. It was just kind of a reflex. And I'm like, okay, I'll just drink it. Even though I'm fasting, it's okay. I'll just drink. I'll take a few sips. So a few sips in, I notice again, my fingers are starting to itch. And I'm like, wow. Then I started to think about before I was on Dupixent, and every single morning I had like an itch protocol or itch routine, an itchy girl routine, where I would make my coffee and I'd sit down at my coffee table and I would literally go like this at my coffee table as I drink my coffee. Now, I never put 2 and 2 together that it could be the milk that's in the coffee causing that. That is just really sad news for me. I don't even know what kind of milk substitutes I could have. I'm not really into like replacement milks. I used to drink oat milk and it gave me acne. So if you know any good replacement milk down below that's not almond either, because I have a nut allergy, I would love to know. Something else to note about how my skin is doing is I have become a little bit more intuitive with my body and intuitive about itch and how to deal with itch. Right now, I have a masterclass topical steroid withdrawal series, which I talk about the different types of itch. So if you're interested in that, and how to actually stop itch in its tracks. So because I now have the understanding of the different types of itch, I do notice that even when I do get itchy, I kind of like hold the spot and I think to myself, am I itchy? Because sometimes it's just habit. Or I'll just rub it. And I've also learned to sit through my itch. So I think that is what is happening is I'm developing new neural pathways in my body that I don't necessarily associate with that itchy feeling with the need to scratch like a crazy lady anymore. And that could only happen with the help of Dupixent. I don't think I would have been able to do that without, but I do think that it has caused a pause in the itchy cycle that's happening with my skin barrier. So I think that's a win, and it's something I'm grateful for, and I'm a little bit more knowledgeable about when I do feel itchy and how I scratch my skin. So of course, we all know that fasting is so good for your body, and a lot of things begin to happen within the body when you take time to fast. My hope is to go to 7 days of fasting. I'll let you know my next update, how long I actually fasted. But that is my hope for 7 days, to really give my body a break and then move forward into an elimination diet. Now, elimination diets in the past have been a bit difficult for me because I was chronically addicted to sugar. And a sugar addiction makes any kind of elimination diet or candida diet feel almost impossible, because you feel so sick during the process that you just end up eating the bad food. However, because over the last year I have cut out sugar, I mean, I have it periodically, but I'm definitely not as addicted as I used to be. Now when I go on these fasts, I feel 1000% better, and I actually now mentally feel ready to take on an elimination diet of sorts. I think the diet that really resonates most with me is the carnivore diet. Comment down below, have you tried the carnivore diet and how did it impact your skin? That I would love to know. But I don't know why I'm always drawn to red meat. I'm always drawn to steak and ground beef and anything red meaty. I don't know, for some reason my body wants it, and I never experience any bloating or any like side effects from it. So I'm wondering how my skin would do on a carnivore diet. Comment down below as well if you think I should go 30 days carnivore free, or not carnivore. If you think I should go 30 days on a carnivore diet, I don't know, take you guys along the journey with me. So that's in the works. I'm just gonna slowly bring things back in and really pay attention to when I start to get that itchy feeling, okay? So Future plans. I'm not really sure what I'm doing with my Dupixent. As I said, we're just on a break. I'm thinking about it. Do I want to take a shot every 3 weeks? Do I want to take a shot every 4 weeks? I'm not sure. And yes, of course, I'm not a doctor, so always talk to your doctor in terms of your skincare plan and what's going to work best for you. Am I kissing Dupixent goodbye for good? Only time will tell. But in the meantime, I really want to capitalize on the fact that it seems like my skin barrier is like at 80 to 90% healed. It's almost been impossible over the years, especially when you have this itch scratch cycle that continues. So now that my skin barrier is doing a lot better, I am considering trying a new skincare regime because, as you know, when you have eczema, when you have eczema, you have this wonderful protocol. You could go look at my protocols of this wonderful set of products that you use on a regular basis, and then one day you wake up and they don't work anymore. So for myself, I like to have a rotation going so that my body, I can always keep my body guessing, and I always have different things at hand that could work for my skin. That being said, I am going to try a new skincare regime, and you will never guess who suggested it for me. If that sounds like something you're interested in watching, check out my next video where I'm gonna try and reveal the new skincare routine for my eczema. Until next time.